So if you had to start from fresh right now, what would you do? What's the step-by-step process? Because I'm trying to look at this from a perspective of someone who's looking up to Luke Belmar, who wants to get into the digital space, be rich, be in a position as you are in yourself. What's step one?
Seneca famously said, only the educated are free. So this isn't a game about getting rich or a game about getting wealthy. It's about becoming free. That's the first step. If you go into something being like, oh, I want to make money, I want to extract value instead of providing value, you already lost the game. You're in the wrong mindset, because the name of the game is provide value for an extended period of time and eventually you'll get rewarded. So instead of saying, hey, what can I do? Let's talk about mindset shift. Let's talk about perspective, which I think is a better topic of conversation. How do you identify opportunity? I think the formula to make money and to basically guarantee your ability to make money in perpetuity is in 3 simple steps. One is whatever niche or skill or avenue in business that you want to pursue, it needs to be in high demand. You can't go into something that is no longer relevant. So whatever you're going to select, whether it's TikTok shops at this point, whether it's starting an e-commerce business, whether it's getting involved in helping in the crypto space, whether it's building a personal brand, it needs to be in high demand. 2, you need to be irreplaceable. In an era where artificial intelligence is sweeping the world and where a lot of white collar jobs will be eradicated in the next couple of decades,
Of course, yeah.
you need to be irreplaceable. So you need to figure out what's the human touch and the human factor that you can incorporate.
That a computer can't.
Like look at copywriting. Okay, copywriting, you can utilize AI and you can utilize bots to come and help you, but they can't necessarily close the deal for you. So maybe instead of learning copywriting, you learn sales, right? And then you get a prompt engineer. So you need to be irreplaceable. You need to be in high demand. And finally, you need to be the best at what you do. These are the 3 ingredients for success. So you need to be the best at what you do. Now AI gives you access and tools and the ability to really be at a God tier level when it comes to a lot of these white collar jobs. In fact, sometimes you see these anonymous posts on Reddit saying, hey, I've officially become an accountant for companies overseas and, I'm just using AI tools and they're paying me just if I had a certificate or just as if I had a degree, and it works extremely well. So if you're in high demand, if you're the best at what you do, and if you're irreplaceable, you can always find a way to make money. So instead of going into specifics, it's more so building the frameworks in order for people to develop how to think. But like Seneca said, only the educated are free. So you need to educate yourself as to what is in high demand, how to become the best at what you do. You can't just fall into becoming the best. It takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication into becoming irreplaceable. That is the key. That is the mindset shift that people need to establish.
What was your education like growing up as a kid?
Spanish and English school. That's why I've developed really good linguistic skills in English.
I was going to say, because you speak very, very well. Similar to like how Tate speaks. Like there's no stuttering, there's no there's none of these buts or nothing like that. And you're a very smart man, obviously, to be where you are right now. So I'm trying to understand, what was your education like as a kid?
Yeah, my parents blessed me. At the time, it wasn't a blessing, but it was 6 hours of Spanish school and then 3 hours of English school, 5 days a week. And I've been in the United States for over 10 years now, so I've kind of been able to shift that into one of my dominant languages. I did the whole programming and the what's your dream job? The perfect question to ask an 8-year-old. But yeah, my parents just blessed me with allowing me to go to an English school.
And now it's got you to a point where you got Capital Club, right? So let's break this down, because I'm not too familiar myself either. So what is Capital Club exactly?
So the year's 2019. I'm making money with e-commerce, but I didn't have a network. I didn't have a relationship with a lot of entrepreneurs. I was very focused on my own thing. I went through a period where I got scammed. Almost $1 million was the situation. We'll go into it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anybody to turn to. It was probably an easy problem to mitigate, probably an easy problem to solve, but I had no network. I had no connections. I only had money, but I was kind of a loser. So I said, okay, let me launch a network. At that time, I launched Capital Club 2019. I launched it from my bedroom. But at that time, I was already known in the e-commerce space because I was posting screenshots of e-com and people already respected me in the space. So at that time, it was just an e-commerce community. But then the bull run rolled around. I said, fuck building the community. Let me just close it down. So I closed Capital Club down for 3 years. At the time, it had about 7,000 members. Most of them were just in the e-commerce space.
Were they paying members or?
All paying members.
Okay,
yeah. At the time, they were paying me $40 a month. I was one of the first people to ever launch paid communities in the entire world. I saw it as a new meta. So prior to any of these other ones that you see rolling around the internet, mine was one of the OG ones. And then I reopened it last year, 2023 in October.
Yeah.
I had over 650,000 people on my wait list. I decided to open it up. Every day people would compete to join Capital Club. And we allowed 369 people to join for $369. So for $1 a day, because that's all I had at the time when I was poor, I would invite entrepreneurs for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That's all I could afford. So for less than the price of a cup of coffee every single day, you can be part of an online community, a digital community of entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs in business, entrepreneurship, biohacking, and finance.
Yeah.
Today we have over 30,000 paid members. It's only been open. I closed it again in December just because of the high demand and because I've been focusing on my investments, but it'll be reopening next month again. And my wait list is about 250,000 people. I'm going to bump up the price a little bit because $1 a day is a little bit cheap. So maybe $1.50 a day, maybe $2, something like that. But yeah, it's a great community. It breaks down into 3 aspects. First one is the academy. This is where I bring experts from all over the world to teach in 4 niches: business, entrepreneurship, biohacking, and finance, which I believe to be the 4 pillars to becoming a successful entrepreneur.
Yep.
The second one is my marketplace. So I go and partner with different companies from around the world and offer my members discounted rates.
Okay.
So my goal there is for people to be able to pay for their memberships for free and not have to have any expenditure just by utilizing services, whether it's third-party logistics services, whether it's 50% off on the Shopify subscription, whether it's getting access to lounges around the world. It's a marketplace that's curated for the members.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's the network. So I do physical events and digital events all over the world.
Yeah.
I've done physical events from Amsterdam to Dubai to Singapore to Paris to Miami to New York City.
This is like the one you done with Jordan the other week.
Yeah, so the one that I did in Jordan the other week, I posted a story. It was a meetup for Capital Club members, and it was also, I did it in partnership with Jupiter Exchange, which is a crypto project that I'm involved with, as well as Telegram Open Network. I'm a marketing advisor for them.
Yep.
And I did a collaboration between all of us with a 2-day notice. 1,600 people showed up in Dubai.
Damn.
1,612 people showed up, which is absolutely bananas. It's absolutely crazy to think about.
Having that many people around in one place in Dubai.
Well, it's because of the internet.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised.
What the hell's going on? Yeah.
So it's a place where people can connect, exchange phone numbers, do business, share what it is that they do, and materialize these digital relationships into physical experiences. So between the academy, the marketplace, and the network, just really being able to connect everybody together, it's a great experience. And then for the high tier entrepreneurs, people doing 7, 8 to 9 figures, we meet together once every single year in different places in the world. We've done Mexico, we've done Mallorca, Spain, we've done Singapore, we've done Phuket, we've done Bali, and it's sold out for 2 years from now. It's already booked out.
Yeah.
But that's for like the higher tier people because obviously they want a more exclusive experience.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So we get together.
Yeah, and it's interesting you do that because even when I look at companies like Bugatti or Ferrari, Lamborghini, the high-end brands, what they do is they invite their customers who buy their products from them directly to experiences across the world. So Bugatti, they might invite their customers to a racetrack down in the south of France or something like that. So these brands with such high influence and magnitude, they're the ones that are really, really engaged with, wanting their customers to come on board and see this is what we're doing, this is what we're up to, sort of thing. Meeting up with other people. I think it's a great thing as well to have an entrepreneur place because, as you said there, that's something you would have wanted when you were starting out on your journey as well.
Correct. I built Capital Club for myself. I didn't build it for anybody else. I built it for me. And I built it into something that I needed when I was getting started, when I was either an aspiring entrepreneur, a developing entrepreneur, or even right now, you'd be surprised. Like people pay a lot of money to be part of high quality networks. People pay a lot of money to be in rooms with top dogs. And if you can curate that experience and you can facilitate that, it puts you in a really good situation. Yeah,
I mean, the guy who I literally just done a podcast with now, he hosts masterminds and people pay upwards of $10,000 per mastermind just to get into the room with people. It unlocks a different type of mindset when you get in the room with someone else who has great ideas and then you just get back and forth. By the time you leave that day, your brain is fired up and you've got 10 billion different business ideas. That $10,000 investment is now going to make you $100,000.
And you'd be surprised. A lot of people, what they don't seem to understand on the internet is that not everything can be found on the internet.
Yeah.
This idea that you can find everything on YouTube is simply not the case. Yeah, you could find an interview by a couple billionaires, and yeah, you could go find some great wisdom. But what I've come to realize about the world is that it's a pay-to-play game. Like, you have to pay your dues.
Yeah.
For example, in Puerto Rico, you have the Ritz-Carlton Reserve. The membership is $100,000. So in order for you to get into the club, in order for you to be part of the club, you just use the amenities. You don't get anything for free. You just get to use the amenities and get in.
Yeah.
But the people that are in there, you know that they're the real deal. They paid $100,000.
Yep.
So you'd be surprised. You're sitting with 9-figure entrepreneurs. You go to the jacuzzi and there's billionaires sitting there. They're having a good time. People are like, no, there's no way billionaires are there. They must be doing other shit. I'm like, no, like, there's billionaires hanging out and chilling, just like you're chilling. They've just been able to build and accommodate their lives in a better way.
Yeah.
And it gives you access. So you have to pay for access, just like you would pay to sit in a first flight or in a business class,
business suite or something like
whatever
that.
it is. And the people that you get to interact with, or the caliber of people, are extremely different than the people that are sitting in coach. It's just the name of the game. You pay to play, and it's the name of the game. It's just how it works. And it goes for the same thing with, like, when you buy nice watches or when you buy nice things. It's not because these materialistic things are part of your identity, but you realize that the more you level up your character, right? The more you level up your ability to get into certain rooms, it's going to give you access to new information, new people inside of your network, and it's going to open up your horizons as to what's possible in life. Dude, I sit down with a lot of high tier entrepreneurs, people that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales, and I'm mind boggled every time because anytime that they talk, like, it's just pure wisdom. It's just game. It's just information on how to level up. And what I love about wealthy circles, when people have a lot of money and it's a collective group and money is no longer kind of the driving motivator, there's a level of defense that's been lowered, right? So it's like, it's no longer the question, does this guy have something that he's trying to extract from me? It's very much like, let's give. And everybody's just sharing the information. Everybody, not every room, but people are just sharing information. People are sharing connections. People are sharing access to different opportunities. And that's what I've come to realize is a massive cheat code in the video game of business.
Yeah, a lot of people in together. Those people that you're talking about who do like 100 millions in turnover, do they have social presence?
Some of them. Because a lot of them don't.
What I've found as well, the people who I've met who have been on the same sort of lines as that, never have any social presence. They've got traditional businesses or unconventional businesses, and you meet them in the most random ways, and then you get hanging around with them. Those are the type of situations where I think to myself, no one else can meet you or learn your stuff from YouTube. It's only a case of, I have to be in a room with you or have to know you in person
to
get your information.
Exactly.
Which is what I think the crazy thing is.